This elderly disabled lady was quietly standing in line for a job interview. Just behind her stood a cunning young woman. Suddenly, the young woman swiftly reached into the old lady's bag and stole a thick bundle of cash, handing it off to her partner standing behind her. The boy standing behind them saw everything. He immediately spoke up. "Ma'am, she just stole money from your purse and gave it to that guy." The girl quickly turned to him and snapped, "Are you out of your mind? We're here for a job interview, not to steal. Think before you accuse someone." The elderly woman, slightly confused, opened her purse and checked. "No, son," she said gently. "All my money is still here." The girl smirked and said mockingly, "See? Nothing's missing. You really need to get your brain checked. Look at your clothes. You look like you came here straight from a farmer's market." Just then, the receptionist arrived and announced, "The interviews will begin shortly. Please make sure your documents are ready." The elderly woman politely asked, "Could you tell me where the restroom is?" The receptionist directed her, and she left for the restroom. Moments later, the elderly woman returned from the restroom and walked up to the girl. "Excuse me, dear, I believe I was standing here first." But the arrogant girl refused to move. "Well, now I'm here, so you go stand behind. Simple." "But sweetheart," the woman said calmly, "I was ahead of you in line before I left." The girl's tone turned nasty. "Didn't you hear me the first time? You should be at home, not applying for jobs at your age. You're old, and on top of that, disabled. You think anyone's gonna hire you? People will laugh at you, call you names like limpy or cripple. Trust me, do yourself a favor and just go home." Crushed by her words, the elderly woman slowly turned around to leave. But just then, the same boy stopped her. "Ma'am, you came here for the interview, so please, give the interview. Who knows, you might be more experienced than all of us here." His words touched her heart. The woman smiled softly and returned to the line. Soon, the receptionist asked everyone to place their files on the counter and take a seat. Then everyone submitted their files and waited. Then the receptionist said, "Ma'am, you'll be the first one to go in for the interview." After a few minutes, the receptionist came back and called the next group of three: the girl, her partner, and the boy. As the arrogant girl confidently entered the interview room, her face froze. Sitting on the boss's chair was that same elderly disabled woman. The girl stepped forward, confused and irritated. "Hey, what are you doing in the boss's chair? Get up!" Her partner pulled her back and whispered in shock, "Lily, can't you see? She is the boss." The girl's face turned pale. Her arrogance melted away in an instant. The elderly woman looked at them calmly and said, "Yes, I am the boss here. What you didn't know is that I came down in disguise today. I pretended to be helpless, vulnerable, because I was testing you, and you both failed. You insulted me, mocked me. This company has no place for dishonest, disrespectful, and selfish people like you. Get out." In the end, Madam gets back her stolen money from the girl's partner. Shamed and humiliated, the girl and her partner were escorted out of the office. The elderly boss then turned to the boy and said warmly, "You, young man, passed the test. You stood up for what's right, even when no one else did. You're exactly the kind of person we want in this company. The job is yours." The boy smiled, his eyes glimmering with pride.